How long have you been playing Mabinogi for?
Oh, that is a very interesting question. So, let's see. So, on this character, on Cuticle, uh, I want to say, let's see. I know that I made this account during COVID. Um, with regards to time, honestly, I don't know the year or month. I just know that it was a few months after Genshin had released. I was playing Genshin and then I got bored. And I came back to Mabinogi to see what it was, how it was doing. But before that, I think I took like a 10-year-ish hiatus, which,
Whoa, that's a long break.
yeah, it is, but it also seems to be very common with a lot of
Yes.
Mabinogi players. Like, it seems to just be like a game where you can honestly just leave it for like a decade and then come back to it whenever you feel like it. But um, I was introduced to Mabby, um, honestly, as like a child. I think I first heard of it when I was playing Maple Story, and they were like, "Hey, we have this new game. It just came out, and it's like, uh, let me see. It was right after like the open beta was over, and they were preparing for G1. So
Right,
I
right.
guess technically, yeah, I was a G1er. Um,
I think you
all
would
the
have
way from the
been
beginning.
2008 then.
Oh yeah, definitely around there. Yeah.
Man.
Um, and so I remember way back when Mabby was very restricted. Like rebirths weren't free, nothing was free. So and you basically like had to rebirth to get anywhere because like you only had so much AP. You could really only level to like maybe like 40 if you tried really hard. Though I know some people were able to get to 50 back in the day. Don't know how, but
The
props
end
to
gamers
them.
of G1.
The genuine end gamers like reach level 50 at age 10. Like how? Um,
Yeah.
but I would do this thing. Me and my little brother would play, and then after we would reach like that roadblock of like AP, we would literally just make a new account and then start over on a new character, but with all of our golden gear, so that
Oh.
like we could just like keep playing. And then maybe, our first character was like a warrior. Maybe we wanted to try magic, which, bad idea. So much AP for magic. And
Oh yeah, back
they
in the
weren't
day too.
yeah, back in the day, and then they didn't sell MP pots at the healer shop, so you really had to like fight to be a mage.
Yeah.
Um, and then maybe another character was like an archer or whatnot. So it was a lot of like character hopping way back when. But I think like to get back to your question, I think I played from around that G1 point all the way up to
I'm gonna guess. Okay, I'm gonna guess it was like
okay,
Shakespeare or
okay.
something.
Honestly, yeah, yeah, like right
Okay,
around
so
Shakespeare.
the reason I guess that is because that's like the usual time, or like I guess the average like old Mabinogi player usually like
Hmm.
left during
Yeah.
Shakespeare.
Yeah, and I think it was a lot of it I remember was so in my mind that golden age of Mabby was just that socialization you would do like in the dungeon lobbies
Yeah,
or like you're running like what Albie Intermediate and you have to like lay down a campfire and actually rest and recuperate because you only had like so much HP potions, so many Phoenix feathers, so you actually
right.
had to like you know, calm down a bit in the middle of your content. And I really enjoyed that aspect. And then I remembered they released like the shadow missions and no one was running dungeons anymore. And I was just like, hey, where are all my friends? Like,
Aw,
where? And I really missed that. So I think it
yeah,
was around then where I was just like kind of falling out with Mappy. Like, oh, I guess I'll just, live
yeah.
my fantasy life like in real life for a little bit.
Aw, I mean, okay, that's a long time and completely justified that you left for a little bit, honestly. And but you came back, so there's that as well.
Yeah, I came back. Yeah. And honestly, I'm really happy I came back. I think the one thing that like makes me really think brightly of Mabinogi is just the socialization and just like, and this is gonna sound so cheesy. I'm so sorry, but like
No, you're good.
genuinely the friend, the friends and like bonds that I have been able to make through this game, like as silly as it sounds, like they're very meaningful to me, and that's definitely like the one thing that keeps me here because like even if I weren't to like continuously play the game and run content, I would still be here because I have friendships and people that like I know and care about still play. So I,
Right.
of course, I'm gonna keep in touch with everyone here.
Yeah, of course. Do you actually want to give shout outs? I mean, we might as well while we're in this.
Oh, okay. I guess my biggest shout out would just be like to my guild, Harajuku. Hello, everyone. And of course, friends of the guild as well, because we have a gigantic
Yeah, no,
network
I've
of
seen
friends
it.
of the
I have seen it.
It's very
Absolutely.
big, yeah. Um, yeah, I guess like and big shout out to Master Kitten, of course,
Of course.
our leader, my boss, like obviously. Um, he was the one that got me into Harajuku and really like I guess like open the doors to help me like meet all these like fun, incredible people. So yeah, I guess big shout out to Marv, who you previously interviewed as well.
Yes, yes, I did. Recently. Or I guess in the past couple months, yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, do you have a favorite talent or arcana?
Oh my gosh. My favorite talent is archery and ranged. It
Ooh.
is from like literally dating from G1. It was has always been my favorite talent.
Oh yeah, I guess since you were saying that you were switching between, like you would start a new character every time, I guess you got
Mhm.
to test everything from the beginning.
Yeah, I got to test like, back then when it was just like the three,
Yeah.
like um range was always the one that was like really fun to me and um apart from just like the mechanical aspects of how you play it, obviously
Yeah,
I
yeah.
I like standing in the back, very like at a very safe distance, not putting myself at risk, but being able to like dish out the damage. But apart from that, I think that so way back in the day in G1, obviously people were clawing for every little bit of like stat bonuses that they could find. And
Right.
for ranged, it was like life skills, life skills, life skills, like all of those life skills. And it was the big ones, weaving and refine.
Carpentry.
Oh, this was even back before carpentry
Oh,
was a skill
oh my
too.
gosh. Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
like yeah. So like I remember how and I guess it sounds silly given the revamp to skill training that we've seen recently, but back in the day, skill training was genuinely like a make or break thing that would honestly take weeks, if not months, to complete. And I always saw that like, oh, to be a good ranger, you needed to cap all of these life skills, which had this like it just felt like just such a gigantic hurdle because of how difficult they were to train.
Right.
So I remember specifically like weaving rank 8 where it was just like make like fine or like finest silks or something. No, it was fine
Oh
silks.
yeah, it's been so
And
long now.
yeah. And it was all RNG back in the day. Like you could not just select like I want to make fine silk.
Yeah.
You had to. Oh my gosh, it was just so much work
It
involved.
was
So I think
just
there was like
make silk and that was it.
make silk, but a specific kind. Because if you
Yup.
make the wrong kind, then there goes all of your threads, and then you gotta go and make more. But I think
Yep.
there was like that sense of pride being able to be like, I trained weaving up to a sufficient rank to be able to like shoot these arrows stronger
Yeah,
than the
you
next
deserved it.
person. Is and then I guess to a related point, all right, alchemic sharpshooter, because I was
Yes.
introduced to that talent from the Korean name,
Oh,
Alchemic Stinger.
yeah,
So
yeah,
I
yeah.
keep calling it Stinger, yeah. But Alchemic Sharpshooter, obviously as an extension of the talent, it's been incredible. It's like made the talent much more enjoyable to play, and would definitely have to be my favorite.
Oh, well, I am glad that it, I guess, came throughout all the years. It continued, and now it's still here as a big thing for you.
Definitely, definitely.
So, do you have a favorite fashion item?
Oh my gosh.
I
I
know.
actually do. I
You
actually
do.
do. And the funny thing, it is not even a fashion item that I can, I guess, currently wear.
Oh, okay.
Um, because
That's
it's
fine.
it's it's not a it's not an article of clothing for boys.
Oh, okay.
My favorite, like literally in all of the fashion items in Mabinogi, my favorite item is that um summer dress
Oh,
from
Summer Wait.
the
Summer Wait.
Summer '08,
Oh,
and then it
that's my
released.
favorite too.
It is literally my all-time favorite item in the game. Just
Yes. Oh my
how cute it
gosh.
looks, like the delicate little details. They're
Yes.
able to pack in so much in '08, and then like even today, like compared to all of like the beautiful new gacha stuff that we get, like I still think like it is the cutest item in the entire game. I just loved, like, I remember seeing it back when I was a kid, like, oh my gosh, all these people wearing these cute summer dresses, like they're adorable. And then I come back and I still see it's like, a thing that exists.
Oh, and
Like,
for a while
yeah.
they were so expensive too.
Oh my gosh, yeah, so super duper
For good
expensive.
reason though. Like, oh, that
Oh
thing
yeah,
is
it's
gorgeous.
incredibly cute. It is so cute.
I
Love that dress.
think I think and this is like a me personally thing. I think I would have loved to see another version of it that just didn't have the socks. Like I think the socks do a good job with the dress. Like you could wear a good pair of shoes with those socks still. But I would love to see like a version. I mean, we have the version with the socks, but I'd love to also see a version without the socks personally.
Oh, Nexon, if you're listening,
Yeah, and like
that
maybe
could
update it a little
definitely,
bit, you know?
yeah. Oh, and like maybe even like just bring it up to like maybe like modern standards,
Yes.
embellishments here and there, but like keep that like same idea. Oh, that would be so cute.
Yeah, because it's just that natural summer dress.
It's so cute. Yeah, and like yeah, I can't even wear it because I'm a boy. Well, in game, but like honestly, like I would just like frame it somewhere. Like it is such a cute article of clothing.
I 100%, more than 100% agree. So, do you have a favorite NPC in the game?
Oh my gosh. Ah, I've actually had to think like very, very hard about this because obviously we have like a bajillion of those
Yeah,
at
no,
this
it's so
point.
true. And they keep bringing out
And,
nicer ones and nicer ones.
oh my
And
gosh, yes. And then like yeah, all the new generations introduced like 20 more. Like, do I really? And also like I know this isn't unique to me. I think it's like a recurring joke. Mabinogi players don't read. Like I
it's
don't
true.
know.
I don't
I
either.
don't
So,
know.
I mean, oh, I will if
It's
it's on like
great.
the web posts. I'll read the
Oh
web
yeah, like
posts, but like,
but like if I'm doing G23 to unlock Kraken and I need to speed through it, I'm sorry.
yeah. Yeah.
I don't know anything about these plot lines. I don't know your character connections, but I'm gonna be honest, because I don't read, I don't even know where this NPC comes from. I just know that his name is Alpin. He's a gardener. He lives upstairs, in the castle in Terra,
Yeah.
and he's my favorite because I don't know. I think his like outfit's adorable. I also like enjoy like horticulture and plants, so I think like if Alpin was a real person, I think we would be like besties. We would just like,
Aw.
have tea in the garden, just like, oh, how are the roses doing today, Alpin? And he would just like tell me like, oh,
Aw.
I've noticed a good amount of aphids collecting on them, and I would like offer him some advice on how to like eradicate the aphids. I think it would be like a very like true friendship between me and Alpin, the gardener that I don't know any of his lore. Apologies to
No,
Alpin,
it's
but
okay.
like,
I don't either. It's, it's okay. But you know what? I feel like ironically, he fits as like your favorite NPC. Oh,
Oh, really? Okay.
so I'm gonna go into a little bit of more personal questions about yourself, if that's okay.
Ooh, of course. Okay.
So, did you have a dream job growing up?
I have a dream job. Yeah, I remember when I was like a little kid, my favorite thing to watch was the Animal Planet, and I would see like all of these like nature documentaries and people like going into like the wilderness or the jungles to like
Right.
research and look at all this wildlife. I remember this one guy, Jeff Corwin, he would just like run up into like the Malaysian jungles and handle all these like venomous snakes and like painful stinging insects. And I thought that was just like the coolest thing ever. Like just to, get paid to like hang around with animals and stuff. Um, and it wasn't until I was like older that I realized like, oh my gosh, wait, that's a job. Like that's
Yeah.
called, like being like a biologist or like a conservationist. And so yeah, I think that would have been like my aspirational like profession as a
I love
child.
that for you. I love that for you. That's so cute.
Yeah.
So, do you have a favorite movie, or I guess plural movies?
Oh, favorite movie. All right. um So my favorite movie, and apologies that this suggestion is, a little bit of a spicier one.
Oh no, you're good. You're good.
Um, my favorite movie, let's see. It's called The Handmaiden, and people seem to confuse it with The Handmaid's Tale. But The Handmaiden, Korean film directed by Park Chan-wook. Um, I I love the plot line for its like thriller-esque nature with a lot of
Mm-hmm.
twists and turns. But in addition to that, I really enjoyed the cinematography, like the shot compositions, how literally you could go through like frame by frame of that movie and every single frame could work as like your phone or your computer background. Like everything is shot so beautifully in that movie.
Aw.
And yeah, like it was like a pleasure to watch in addition to all of like the crazy stuff with the plot line as well. Like I have watched it like a bajillion times. I get all of my friends to watch it. Like it was snubbed of an Oscar, by the way, but
Oh,
that's a story for another time. But
absolutely.
yeah, The
But
Handmaiden by Park Chan-wook, my
I
number one.
haven't I haven't seen it myself. However, that
Highly recommend.
sounds like it would be a good movie to watch.
It
So,
is very thrilling. Yeah, I would definitely like take a peek at it if you ever get the chance to.
yeah, maybe. So, I'm going to go into the last question, and that question is there any advice that you would like to give people, whether it be in real advice, in game advice, or both?
Oh, that is a very good question. Okay.
Yeah, it's kind of a loaded question
Oh, it's
sometimes.
very okay. It's very loaded, but let me see. Obviously, I want it to be like Mabinogi centric because that's like that's the setting for all of this. But
Very true.
I feel like okay. I'm gonna explain this from the perspective of Mabinogi, but I
Okay.
do genuinely think that it also works well in real life as well. So, two for one type of deal.
2 for 1 special.
Um, yeah. Um, I think my number one piece of advice for Mabinogi is never be afraid to voice that you need help. Whether it be like oh, I'm stuck on a quest, or oh, I don't know what this piece of what this piece of gear does, or what my like next like weapon should be. Um, Mabinogi is filled with very knowledgeable people. Obviously, if you're gonna play a game like this for like going on like it's multiple decades now,
Yeah.
are gonna like have a bunch of information that maybe you or your group of friends may not be privy to. Um, and a lot of times, like even I just type in public chat like, oh, like I don't know how to do this specific thing, and then like a random person will chime in with like um very helpful information. And this isn't
Right.
to say that it's always going to be helpful, but
Yeah.
like another random thing is sometimes I'll just talk about like a piece of equipment that I've like been looking at, like, oh darn, I wish like someone was selling like this cute little like shaved ice hat like randomly, and then someone will just come in and like randomly trade me and be like, oh, I have one laying around here, you can take it. um
Yeah.
I think it's helpful because like I know a lot of people seem to be under this belief that like, you know, you should be self-sufficient, you like, you know, should be able to do most things on your own, and like that's, you know, that's a great way to like feel prideful in your own like your own actions and your own growth. But I like that. I really like that saying where like it takes a village to raise a child, and
Aw.
obviously we're not children, but
Yeah.
like I would not be anywhere near like as knowledgeable or as like comfortable with running content as I am now if it weren't for the help of like all of like my friends and even just like random Mabinogi players that have like helped me in the past, like inform me like, oh, you
Right.
know, this may not be the best way to do it, but here, I'll give you an alternative.
Right.
And none of that would have been received if I were to just think like, no, I'm gonna do this on my own, like everything just like entirely self-sufficient. Because
Yeah.
like that's not the case. Mabinogi, another saying like, oh, it's not like Mabinogi is not a sprint, it's a marathon. And like I don't know. I've watched some marathon snips. Like they have those tables set up with the water
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
you can
People
drink.
help.
Yeah, people help each other out, and I think it all goes back to that sense of like community.
Right.
I think it's really sweet that like we have such like a close knit community in Mappy, especially this being such like a very specific niche of a game. We're all packed in on this one server now. Kind of like, you know, you get like that small town vibe. Like
Right.
everyone knows everyone.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, this isn't to say like, you know, it's always going to be like sunshine and roses. Obviously, there's going to be like some unkind faces here and there. But honestly, like the helpful and kind people entirely overshadow all of that negativity. So, I think, yeah, just just to like reiterate, I guess, don't be afraid to ask for help.
Yeah.
And yeah, you may not know like what friendships and bonds you may be able to make from that.
Yeah. Definitely. That's I think a very nice bit of advice to give. So. All right. Thank you for doing this with me. It was a lot of fun. Obviously,
Oh,
since
thank you
we've been
for
friends for a
inviting me.
while.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was fun to get to know you a little bit more than, I kind of already did.
Oh,
And
that's
now
great.
others will too. So,
Ooh, very exciting, very
yes,
exciting.
yes. All right. So, I will see everybody another day in Erinn. Goodbye.
Bye.